What's up, you folks? Welcome back to the channel. We're going to talk about one of our favorite stock, ILUS, ticker symbol ILUS, OTC traded stock. There is a lot going on. The stock is at 10 cents. Can it go to 20 cents? I got a ton of requests from all of you, the ILUS Army, ILUS family, and moneymakers to do a video on ILUS. Here I am sharing some of the very juicy and exciting information about ILUS. We'll talk about this price chart, but before that, I wanted to hit on really quickly that ILUS International agrees terms with an acquisition delivering upwards of $100 million in annual revenue. You and I, we both know, and many shareholders as well, that ILUS has been relentlessly working on bringing in more than $100 million in revenue on a yearly basis. And for the most part, they're aggressively moving fast with merger and acquisition, what they are doing pretty well starting 2021. We'll also talk about their Q1 and their highlights of what they have done so far and what they have shared with us. Before that, I also wanted to mention that we'll also talk about some of the charting and some of the numbers around what it means in terms of the volume that we see at the moment, why the volume spiked up. So we'll talk about that, something that I noticed. ILUS touched around 9 cents and we started seeing that it went to as high as almost 12 cents, and right now we are back to 10 cents. Can it go to 20 cents? Can you double your money in ILUS? So we'll talk about that as well. We'll look into this chart and what this chart means over the time, and we'll talk more about what is going on with ILUS as a company. So let's jump into it. Right before that, I just wanted to ask you if you can hit the like button. That will be super helpful. We want to share this information with more and more people. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not a financial advice to buy or sell ILUS. Rather, I'm sharing my research and analysis back with you, hoping you can make informed financial decisions. So don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can get notified every single time I post a video for ILUS. Now, let's talk about what ILUS is up to. We have a pretty strong follower base, as you can see, more than 17,500 followers on ILUS, and ILUS announced that they are acquiring or agreed to the terms with the acquisition delivering upwards of $100 million. Now, merger and acquisition company, they have been working super hard, buying and making sure that they are buying or acquiring profitable companies, that they have proven track record with revenue, and that pretty much reflects on quarterly basis within the revenue that ILUS does, as well as the profitability percentage. And I'm happy to see, and we'll talk about that, they have been doing 20% profitability in terms of the total revenue, or 20% income, or more than 20% income around the total revenue or sales that they book for the quarter. Merger and acquisition company focused on acquiring and developing public safety technology-based companies across the globe. The company confirmed that it has agreed on the principal terms to acquire its first $100 million revenue company. And this is what ILUS has been chasing for such a long time, that as a company, as an umbrella of company, they want to make sure that their portfolio is $100 million for all their subsidiaries. The company confirmed that they agreed on this acquisition, delivered upwards of $100 million revenue already in 2021, and that is on track to achieve $200 million revenue in 2022. Right now, we are in May, almost halfway through the year, so I wouldn't be surprised that if the company books $100 million more revenue after the acquisition. We'll see what happens with the acquisition when the date is. That may not happen right away because they will go through slew of processes and whatnot. I was pleased to announce that the following months there's a discussion and due diligence that they have agreed upon on the acquisition for the large process equipment manufacturer, which is focused on primarily on oil, gas, and utility industry, which also manufactures firefighting equipment for special projects. The company is leading provider of heavy engineering solution and turnkey projects with an extensive list of global multi-station as customers. Now, they agreed on this acquisition headquartered in Middle East, where it is manufacturing and assembly facilities and over 10 million square feet of the space. They also agreed on the acquisition that would allow them to scale up the production of larger vehicles as well as the fixed and portable firefighting systems, specifically for oil and gas sector, where we'll have an existing customer base. So they are having a proven track record of the company in terms of sales, in terms of services, in terms of support, and which is super exciting. In addition of the such enormous manufacturing capabilities and revenue, there'll be also incredible development for ILUS with more existing developments nearing the completion within the pipeline. That's what JP Backwell told us via this particular news release or press release. Following the completion of the first round of due diligence, the head of the terms for the acquisition and documentation has been agreed. ILUS will structure this agreed acquisition with its emergency response technology subsidiary, the ERT, which is going to get uplisted that we already know into one of the major stock exchange alongside a group of several strategic manufacturing and technology companies that ILUS is looking into. The Emergency Response Technology or ERT has simultaneously agreed the acquisition of the Fully Reporting Special Purpose Vehicle or SPV, and it is intended that the agreed acquisition will be reversed into this SPV. More detail on the structure will be announced when we get closer to it, and their CEO mentioned that following the hard work behind the scenes that they have done to acquire this particular deal, they have agreed on the terms, and which is one of the very exciting stuff, because now they are looking into one single company that will bring in millions and millions of dollars in revenue, and ILUS will be able to hit their goal that we already have been talking for last many months, that they are going to be $100 million revenue company. Now, if you take a look at what ILUS has done in quarter 1, right now we're in May, then they released their quarter 1 earnings and the reports and the revenue numbers. The revenue was up 492%, so almost 5 times than Q1 2021. If you remember correctly, that they started with a $500,000 quarterly revenue in 2021. The balance sheet went up, the value went up 73% on a quarterly basis starting from Q1 2021 for the same period last year. And their new headquarters in Dubai, they have offices in many other locations. They completed 2 more acquisitions in Q1 and 2 more that they agreed upon. The profit went up and their assets reduction is in place as well. So take a look at the revenue 2021 versus 2022. As I mentioned, $509,000 in revenue in Q1 2021. Right now they're doing $3.013 million, which is exciting in 2022, which is a 5x increase, or 492 to be precise, increase in terms of the sales and revenue. Their assets also grew exponentially as well, from 19.8 million in Q1. They are right now 31.5 million, and in Q1 they did 34.38 million, which is super exciting. The total increase is 73%, as you can see, from Q1 2021 to Q1 2022. So for the past 1 year, ILUS has done tremendously, 73% up. Now, the acquisitions not included in Q1 revenue are Georgia Fire and Rescue Supply, CarXR, as we know that the company that they acquired, more on the technology front, the Vera drone, which is once again, they already have the pre-booking or the pre-money or deposit money with ILUS as well, and the Bullhead products that we already have been talking about. With the financial snapshot, take a look. Balance sheet looks pretty good. Assets 34.3 million, current liability is 15.4 million, which is looking pretty exciting to me because their liability and assets are pretty much checked in, and that makes a ton more sense. Their profit and loss statement, take a look. Revenue 3.03013 million in Q1 2021. These numbers are Q1 2021. Their gross profit in Q1 1.85 million. So they're pretty close to what they have done in last quarter, and right now you can see this revenue numbers are a little bit lower because some of the revenue on this acquisition right here, all these 4 companies are not included. Acquisition not included in Q1 revenue, so they already have a pretty hefty revenue coming in Q2 that you can expect based on when they officially close this deal. With the net profit in Q1 $636,000, so the net profit is not super high, but take a look, from $3 million, and we're not considering those 4 companies that I just mentioned. With that, take a look, it's 20% net profit when you consider the revenue. So at $3 million revenue, they're doing north of $600,000 in net profit. And if you take a look at the highlights, they have done pretty substantial, intense work for the rest of the whole quarter in Q1, and they are committed to do a ton more in Q2. For the rest of Q2, as you can see, there is 1 more month to go, and I'm super excited about what ILUS brings in to us and what they're doing. I'm super excited to see that one of a kind penny stock. It's an OTC stock, not really on one major stock exchange, and they are doing extremely well. I've not seen so many OTC traded companies are doing profits and the way that they have growth that is planned for future. Not only that we are also witness for the growth that they have made in 2020, starting 2021 to 2022, and especially in Q2 right now, where we are looking pretty stable. Now if you take a look at the company and the stock, the way it has been trading 52-week from 3.9, so almost 4 cents to 51 cents, we have seen exponential return in ILUS. Especially many of my viewers bought ILUS at 5 or 6 cents, and if you take a look right here on this chart how ILUS looks for last 6 months, we are not doing so great, and so does the whole market. But if you take a look at 1 year, we have seen many of us bought around 5-6 cents, and I've been covering ILUS for such a long time. We had seen tremendous growth right here from 5 cents to 51 cents, which is 10x return, 1075%. That is 10x return on the money, which means $100 investment turns into $1,000. Similarly, $1,000 investment turns into $10,000. And many of you, I know that they sold, and many of you sold partial, and they're riding for free. And that's the way to make money in stock market. So if you're like me, you probably are not worried about ILUS being 10 cents, and you might be thinking, what's the best price point to buy ILUS? And here I am sharing more information with you. Now, if you take a look at the average volume, 7.4 mil. Right now, we're doing 6.8 million. So volume looks pretty good. But if you take a look at what we did in terms of the volume, 2.5, 4.6, 5.2, so on and so forth. But we spiked up in volume May 23rd, 10.1 million. We went to 7.3, but then we went almost 5x the next day. When ILUS was 9 cents, it bumped up to almost 12.70, which is almost 13 cents, or 3/4 of a 12 cents, which is pretty exciting. 5x volume, we sustained 22 million volume as well. And once again, we are looking at 10 to 11 cents right now today in today's trading session. And right now the volume is 6.4 million. I wouldn't be surprised if it hits once again close to 20 million just today. So it's super exciting. Volume is coming back, and we have seen lower volume for such a long period of time. And right now we are seeing the volume getting back up, which is a good sign for ILUS. Now, if you take a look at the market right now, NASDAQ is up 2.50% or 300 points. Dow Jones at the moment, it is up 357 points or 1.10. Same for S&P, 1.80. So the market is super in green, and we will be able to see more volume in ILUS, which is going to help very much to the price point that we're looking into. If you take a look, what is the best price point? We have sustained around 14-15 cents, but after that we dropped that, and we dropped around as low as 9 cents, and we started getting back up. We went to 12 cents, couldn't sustain, got back down. Now I want to see, before we can go to 15-16 cents, if we can sustain right here around 14 cents, that is going to be a pretty good support. It is going to work as a pretty good resistance for ILUS as well. But right after that, once we cross that, we sustain there, it is going to show up pretty clearly. So take a look right here. So this it got pretty strong support. 12.80, got back up. 15 cents, couldn't sustain, went back down. 13 cents, once again a pretty good support, went back up to 16-17 cents. Right here 15 cents, and we dropped back down to 13 cents, and 13 cents was a pretty strong support, but we broke the support, got back down. And right now, once again, before we can hit 12 to 15 cents, we want to see that it sustains at 12 cents. I hope you like this video, and I hope you can make informed financial decision. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.